imagine someone saying my spirit is not aligning with your outfit. That will make me straight. What? My spirit is not aligning with your steez right now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fashion Insights. I am your host, Nay, and I am back again with a bang. Thank you guys so much for the love on the last episode. When I tell you this season is back to back, like I'm giving you guys. When I said I was coming to shake up this space, I meant it. And the lineup so far has been so amazing, so exciting. I really hope you guys gain true gems from every single episode. And as I said, we're gonna be tapping now into different spaces. At first, it was just stylists and image consultants. Now, this is the season to tap into the multi-hyphenates, the creative visionaries, those who are building a path that is bespoke to them and them only. And I'm so excited to be speaking to a beautiful babe who has done that. She is a contemporary luxury designer. She is a stylist, and generally her pieces are hard. Because one thing about me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real G, and I would love to introduce the gorgeous and stunning Marnei! And the crowd goes wild! How are you, my love?
I'm actually really good. I'm a little bit tired. It's been a long ass day because we got up at 7 and we literally finished making this about...
Wait, you made it on the same day?
Like we started making it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And then about 10 minutes before we had to leave the house, this got finished.
This is incredible. Yeah, talk us through, before we even get into it, talk us through the process, talk us through the inspiration.
Do you know what? Okay.
It's giving green, it's giving money.
Right?
It's giving
it's like subtle. It's like,
but it's subtle.
Out there, but subtle at the same time. Do you know what? I go by intuition. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I feel something and I get like this very strong inkling to follow that, I'll just follow that.
Yeah.
So with this, I thought to keep it kind of like suit, but then vulnerability, exposure, little nipples.
Yes.
You know,
Okay. I didn't even think that. Period.
Because with all my designs, I always have something that's exposed or revealed.
Yeah.
Like peeling back that layer and finding that core part of yourself. And I think there's a fine line between like being vulgar with exposure and then embedding the exposure within.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we went for.
I love your mind. I know that, and I love that you said that you design from a place of, well, you didn't explicitly say design, but you design from a place of intuition as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
But before we even get into it, let's talk about Marnei Studio. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about Marnei. We're going to break up the conversation in two.
Yeah, okay.
So to someone who is experiencing you for the first time through this podcast, who is Marnei?
I'd say a creative visionary, but I feel like I just keep on giving. Like the reason why I say creative visionary is because my background has always been based on arts. Mm-hmm. It's always been creating a concept, creating a narrative. And a lot of it is about my life and my journey and the journey of those that are around me. Yeah. So I look at finding a way of pouring my mental state and my emotional state and my history into a garment without having to speak verbally about it. Okay. And then being able to do that allows someone to then judge my garment without me feeling like I'm putting it on the table or the plate for somebody else to be like, oh, this is what I think about that, or this is what I think about that. Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting being able to allow someone to create an opinion of something that you've already opinionated yourself of, if that makes sense.
That is so deep.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like judgment's hard, but if you kind of allow yourself to be in a position where you allow for someone to judge you, it's easier to process 100%. And be on your mind because you're prepared for that backlash or you're prepared for that honesty. So yeah, I just put it all out there and let people think.
And how do you process judgment?
Honestly, I'm actually someone that doesn't really care. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I care, but I don't care. It depends. I feel like if it doesn't hold any relevancy to me, then I won't care. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Like, if I know if it's a whole like malarkey, it's just there's no point in me. Yeah, there's no point in me taking that in because like I'm gonna take that home, sit on it, be upset, cry about it, feel hurt. It means nothing. No. But I think it's also important for you to be open about judgment. Yeah. Because at times you do need to self-reflect and understand somebody else's perspective. You'll always see yourself for who you are, but the next person sees you differently. And they see the things that you might not see in yourself. So judgment, I've got like a love-hate relationship with it. Like, don't really care, but when it's time for me to care, I'll listen up and I'll take it in.
Your mindset is fantastic.
Thank you.
I hope you know that, right?
Thank you.
And I think it's so important to be open-minded to feedback as a designer, especially because at the end of the day, you're creating for your consumers. So, but then that you also strike the balance. Yeah. Because you're not making it for them. It's your essence. It's your journey that's, you know, being inspired into the craft. Girl, that is so cool. Yeah. That is so fun. I don't think I've ever spoken to anyone that said that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, especially
I think you have a lot of unique experiences.
I've got some experiences, for sure. I'm not big yet. Yeah. I've got so many collections I could do from my experiences. It's crazy. Wow. And so, I'm not gonna lie, some of them experiences I could never, it might take me like 20 years to sit down with someone and be like, this is my experience. Yeah. But it might take me 3 months to be able to put it in a piece and put it in a design.
Okay. So basically, from what I'm gathering, but then correct me if I'm wrong, your design process is like therapy to you. It's a way of you being able to express feelings that you've trapped within or that you're not really comfortable speaking about, but you express that through your art.
Yeah. Especially because I don't know if you remember when we first met in person. Yes. I'm someone that I'm very confident, very happy, you know, very open. But then I also have my moments of like reserved. I'm very reserved, and sometimes that's hard to read. It can be miscommunicated. It can be miscommunicated as rudeness, as shyness, as whatever else it is.
I didn't get that vibe from you.
Really?
No.
To be honest, I was working. So I was
but no, I didn't. I feel, do you know what? And I think navigating the space as a Black woman who is also an ambivert as well, that's apparently the word. You know, you just need to learn to not care.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love that you've mentioned that too, because, you know, if you're reserved, you're rude. If you speak too much, you're not fashion coded. You know, it's all about being authentic at this point.
And that's literally what the designs are about. Yeah. It's just having a non-biased space and a judgmental space, but not judgmental space at the same time, to put that all out there without the world being like, you're like this, you should be like this, you shouldn't be like this. Yeah. You know.
Where did your love for design stem from?
Art. And do you know what? Not even just art, I'll say expression. Like I've gone through, so I started off with sports. I did every type of sports you could think of. Wow. And dance, I feel, is one of those sports where you learn your emotions. You learn your emotions through dance. It's such a weird thing. Like you just learn how to express. And then from dance and doing like the arts, like drawings, it went to, to be honest, I always had like an interest in fashion. It was one of those things I ignored. You know, I always expressed myself. I dressed how I wanted to dress and been like that from very young. I enjoyed watching the things online and on the TV shows and all the documentaries and stuff and the carpets. Yeah. And it took me going through a very, very low time in my life to kind of like think about what it is that I actually wanted to do, because everything was just going wrong. Yeah. Like everything was literally going wrong. And I just sat down and I prayed. And I kind of like took back steps in my journey and looked at the things that I was interested in, but I chose to ignore. And fashion was one of those. It was something that was so easy to me. Do you know when it's just so easy to be yourself? You need to listen, you need to follow that. Because when you ignore it, you make your life 10 times harder. 100%. Yeah. And I realized as well that was also something that people appreciated about me for. So I thought, you know what? I need to be in London. Like, how am I going to get to London? And how am I going to like understand the fashion more, but from a point where it's not my intuition telling me what it is that is correct and what's wrong. So I thought, let me go and do uni, get a design degree, move to London, and yeah.
And you study fine arts, right?
I studied design, fashion design in uni, but I did like a access course for like fine arts and all that palaver. And then GCSE, I did fine arts. Incredible.
Before we even get into your university element, what you just said was so powerful. And I'm so grateful that you were able to share that with me. You know what? It's a common theme from legendary designers that they tapped into fashion or started launching their brand from a place of pain and from going through a low period. And I remember seeing some quote from Erykah Badu saying, you're going to be successful in whatever comes easiest to you, whatever is truly you. So I love that you've mentioned that, you know, you embodied fashion from a young age. You just were yourself. Literally. You're just being yourself. Real. No, that is so cool. That is so cool. So you've mentioned that obviously you moved to London. So for the viewers, where are you originally from?
From Nottingham.
Okay, big up Nuts.
Right, big up Nuts.
Big up Nuts.
The best people in the world. I'm not even going to lie to you.
One of my favourite grime rappers is from Nottingham. Mez.
Oh, yeah. He's
yeah.
I know. Yeah, we've got some good. Listen, I say all the time, Nottingham, we've got some amazing talent, but there's just nowhere to place it because Nottingham doesn't have the facilities. But when I say every corner, like, there's some superstars in Nottingham. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there's some superstars.
So, if, for instance, you were the male governor of
what would I do?
What would you do? What would you do to help the creative scene there? Because you're right, there are so many standout creatives that are from Nottingham and they're not getting the shine. I
think, first of all, finance. We need the finance. But I also think infrastructure and a space of education that is relative to opportunity. Because you can go to college, you can go to uni, you can go to all these different schools and learn. But then where are you placing that unless you can go to the major cities like London, like Manchester? Do you know what I mean? If anything's going to happen in the industry, no one's coming to Nottingham. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You need to get things rolling in Nottingham for people to realise there's actually relevancy there. And it's a small city. So not everyone sees a bigger picture. Like the first focus is like, let me get Nottingham sorted. Let me branch out in Nottingham and then I can branch out into the world. But the standards of Nottingham is completely different to the standards of London. And that's just because there's a different quantity of people and also the diversity is very limited.
What are the standards of Nottingham, if you don't mind sharing?
It's varied. It's high, but it's also, I just think people accept a lesser standard in Nottingham than London only because when you do something and it's great, it's like, wow, I can't believe you did that. And you're coming from a small city. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're my neighbour coming from a small city, you've managed to do that and it's great. But when you go to London, it's like, well, you know, I work with so-and-so, I work internationally, I do all this. And it's like rotted, like, the ceiling's up from here to like, it's a different level to conquer.
But it sets you up for greatness, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you've got a strong community. Like the community is very supporting, very loving. Like any community, when it's too small, it gets wild. But the love is even stronger. It becomes like a family. So yeah, I'd do that. I'd also, facilities, education, opportunity, very vague, but they're the things that are very like fine. They're very much missing in Nottingham.
That's so beautiful to hear. And I'm interested to know how you found the transition to London emotionally, because when I tend to speak to my friends who are from like smaller areas as well, let me not use smaller, different areas. I'm such a Londoner, innit? Such a Londoner about smaller. Well, technically, but you know what I mean. How did you find navigating the London scene? Because as you said, like Nottingham is quite close knit. It's more like a family, and I don't know if you get that family vibe here.
It was a culture shock. Like when I say in Nottingham, you can walk down the street, there'll be an old woman, you're right, morning, you know, she'll sit down, like talk about her grandson and her teas and this stuff there. You come to London, I was a hugger, so I was meeting people going, hi, you're right, and I was hugging them and they give me dirty looks. Or I walk down the street and I get like a dirty look, or someone like will pick up the chairs to walk past me, and I'm like, I actually just came just to be here, not to like be in competition or to battle anyone. And it's unfortunate because it's made me more reserved. It's made me more conscious of how I show up, if that makes sense. I always show up as me, but because I came from somewhere where you can come on strong in that sense, it's made me read the room first. Like read who it is that I'm meeting before I just jump and be like, let me give you a hug. Like, how are you? You know, because down here it's not as warm. I wouldn't say it's not welcoming, but it's not warm. I think it takes a minute for the other person to warm up and understand you, or for you to even not care. I think the minute that you don't care, that's when they're like, oh, hi, like, are you okay?
They value nonchalance here.
They
value nonchalance.
It's weird though, because you should be able to enjoy life, like just live. It's really not that deep. It's not that there's no reason for why you need to put on a performance. It's a performance.
It's an act. It's an act. One thing I find, and I'm a Londoner, I'm born here, but I would say like mentally, I'm very global focused. I tend to connect with creatives from different countries a lot more than I do in London, and I think it's because London carries. Obviously, we're gonna stay positive. But and for your notes, we're going to stay positive.
Yeah.
But then it's just, this is a negativity. This is just the facts.
Yeah,
like, I feel like sometimes in London, there's a certain level of insecurity and a certain level of competition.
Yeah.
And especially within the space, a lot of people feel like there can only be one.
Yeah.
When really, no, the more we collaborate, the more we come together, there's space for everyone.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And I think that, as you said, because it stems from insecurity, it's fake, it's performance. You're not tough.
Listen, I clocked it straight away. That's why, like, when I used to get that kind of like response, I'd just be like, whatever. Like, we're just not on the same. I don't have the energy all the time for any of that. But at the same time, as much as it's like whatever, I also understand the wariness, because if you're used to that environment, it's going to be very hard for you to switch up and then pretend to be something that you're not. So even though I'm sat here saying it's performative, that might actually be their natural state for them. But when it comes to them being in a space where they trust and they're confident and they're welcomed and stuff like that, they show a different side to them.
I think that's what it is trust. The city is very much dog eat dog. So like we all kind of have trust issues as Londoners, do you know what I mean? And I think when you project that, you're always going to be on edge whenever there's someone new. So one thing I've had to learn as well, funny enough, similar to what you said, is I've learned how to just not even
pay any mind. Yeah, there's no point. There's no point, because they'll sort it out with themselves in their head. Like they'll sit down and eventually the next time you see them, they'll be like, hi, you're right. Because I think when they realize that you're not catting for them, or you're not like, I don't know what the right word is, when you don't pay it any mind, let's just put it like that, when you don't pay it any mind, they start to reflect on their mind. And then they're like, okay, maybe I'm doing too much. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's been great. Like, I found a nice community. And also as well, I think so online, like yourself, I've met so many people online that I'd never met in person. And then I've been able to meet those people in person coming to London, which I probably wouldn't have been able to do in Nottingham, to be honest.
Do you know what's so full circle about this? I remember, so I've got a weirdly good memory. You followed me. I mean, let me not do that.
Well, I thought you aspire. So I was like,
I'm not one of them, so cut that. Like, we followed each other. But like, it was after I was on a show, a fashion show.
Was it?
Yeah.
What, like a runway show?
No, I was on a talking show with What Magazine. And I remember the timing.
Okay, crazy.
I don't know if you remember, but that was around a similar time.
I had you on Instagram for a minute.
Yeah, but that was literally the beginning of my career. So this is so full circle now, having you on like my own show.
It's been years, no? It's been, I want to say longer than, it's before I moved to London. Way before I moved to London.
And I thought you were fine. I was like,
I was like, I like a vibe. It's
literally real.
I was like, of course.
No, you've done so well. And I think, again, thank you. We're trying. And I think it's so important to, amen to that. Girl. And I think it's so important to now pivot into your styling. Because, you know, that is a huge part of your identity. And again, the duality of being a designer and a stylist, I think obviously both roles work so hand in hand, right? So talk to me about your styling journey and how that came about, etc.
So the styling was similar to the whole, like, you know, the praying and figuring out what it is I wanted to do. And COVID happened, and I saw a call for, it was a visual EP. It was like 10 music videos. It was in Derby, so that's like the neighbouring city. And they're looking for a styling assistant. And you know what? I'm someone that I'll just be like, do you know what? Why not? I've never done it, but why not? Let me try it out, see what happens. Messaged her. She was like, great. Like, jumped on that. There was days I did not sleep. I'm talking 48 hours on set. Like, it was a madness. It was actually a madness. It was actually a madness. But I was so things were already pulled, like the garments were there already. So it was just about me learning the on-set side and then like the fittings and stuff like that. Moving forward, my friend Gianni, big up Gianni, he amazing stylist as well. So we went to college together and he was styling. It's funny because we used to sit in college and we used to plan shoots all the time. I would link up at lunch and be like, we should do like a shoot like this and have it like this and do nothing with the shoot. But it was just the idea, you know. It was just doing it that was just amazing. And he taught me a lot. He made me, it's funny because I said this to him a couple of years ago. He one time said to me that there's a difference between dressing and styling.
Facts.
Does that make sense?
Facts.
And I can remember him saying that I know how to dress myself, but you don't know if I'll be good at styling. And I'm not going to lie, for a friend Like, I feel like if it was anybody else, it would have been hard to process that. But for me, because we have such a raw and honest and open conversation, like, we tell each other what is on our mind. I didn't take offense. It was like information for me to digest and understand that the difference for dressing and styling for myself. Yeah, he also worked in the visual EP with me. He taught me a lot. Like, he taught me a lot from like the documentation stuff to the execution, to understand the difference between like costume and a look and stuff like that. And then somehow went down the music industry route. Like, I'm not even musically talented. I don't know what I was doing down there, but ended up in this group chat, and there was a girl in the group chat that was also interested in fashion. We didn't connect until that group chat finished. She's a stylist, creative director, called Ray. And I've been assisting her whenever she calls me. Like, she'll call me like, Marnei, I need your help. I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, whatever. Like, if my thing is that if you want to do well in life and I see you put in the work and try, if you ring me and it's 24 hours away, I'll happily turn up.
I love that.
Happily turn up. Because I want you to do just as well as me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to be like, oh no, like, no, I want you to
real
succeed.
Support.
Yeah, that. So she'll call me like in desperate times and I'll pick up. So yeah, it's just been kind of like that. And then understanding my own identity. And this kind of goes back to the conversation I had about the dress and the styling.
For someone who is new to the fashion space, what is the difference between dressing and styling?
So I feel like dressing is something that is, you just kind of put on, it's already prepared. Styling is when you add that creativity. So this, for example, so when we styled this, you've got different ways that you can kind of use this one look for different occasions. Now, if I was to take this and go and take it for, I don't know, an ASOS e-commerce shoot, we couldn't go with these red heels. We couldn't go with all the extra bangles because the focus would be on the outfit. You keep it plain, keep the shoes nude, hair all the way back in the ponytail, because when you do the next outfit, you need to not be faffing with the hair. Makeup can't draw attention from the outfit because you're selling the outfit. Do you know what I mean? Obviously today, you know, you can play it up a bit because you want identity, but you also want the focus to be on conversation. If I was just to dress this, I mean, I probably wouldn't be doing as much jewelry. My hair wouldn't be as considered. To be honest, if it was considered, it would have been up in a bubble, but I ain't got time for that. So basically, yeah, it's like knowing the details and the fine details to really push the limits of an outfit, but also understanding restriction, because you can overstyle. Sometimes it's like designing, you do too much because you think it's not enough, but instead it does the reverse and it just ruins it. Like, I think that there's power in with drawing back, like with being a bit restrained. There's true power in that, because it shows that you care about the details and you know what's necessary. It shows confidence. You know, you're not just piling it on to make it feel right. You know what it needs.
That is so real. That is so real. And you know what? I can always tell when it's like you're overcompensating. You're doing too much.
Because there's a lot going on. Because you can take that outfit and probably split it into two and you still get two banging outfits. And it's easier to digest on the mind. You got to think about the fact that humans process and digest everything they say. And you have like a spiritual and physical response to things that you struggle to process. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at an outfit and you can't quite get it, there's something spiritually off with what's going on. Do you know what I mean? If you see
I've never even thought about that, but it's so real.
That's why I run with the intuition. If I look at something, I'm like, nah, something's off. Like, something's not, I know not to go down that route. Because if my body's struggling and my spirit's struggling to process that, and processing is a natural thing for a human being, it's not right for me.
Imagine someone saying my spirit is not aligning with your outfit. That will make me straight. What? My spirit is not aligning with your steez right now. That's gonna be my new thing. My spirit's not taking it. My spirit's not taking it. My spirit's not taking this. This is so cool. And you know what? Like, as I said, continuously in this conversation, you have been dropping real gems. I feel like there's so much more that we can explore. However, Fashion Insights is so focused on, again, empowering the next gen. And I feel like you've done that so much through, again, just being such a collaborative individual. Again, let's shout out your shoe with 14/16.
Big up Josh for that one, you know.
Big up
and
Josh
and
the whole team.
Specifically Josh, because I'm going to just go through this real quick. But I'd reached out. So me and Josh work at the same company. But I work on the shop floor and he works in the corporation part. And I'd reached out to him maybe a few months before We jumped on the phone, but he didn't have anything at that time.
Yeah.
And also he wasn't aware of my experience within styling. So when he came up with, you know, we've got a magazine 14 straight 16, where it said, do you want to get involved? I said, great, yeah, let's go. Jumped on that. And then he was like, can you bring your pieces? And at this time, I'm not going to lie, I was sat down doing like the loan agreements because I was trying to figure out how to price my stuff. Because, you know, you guys got to make some money.
Of course.
And when he said it, I just thought to myself, you know what, why not? I don't even want to talk about all of that. Why not? Let me just bring the stuff. And then obviously it ended up as a cover, which I am forever grateful for. I feel like if it didn't take him taking a chance, if it wasn't for him taking a chance on me, I don't know if, my pieces wouldn't yet be in a magazine, in a printed magazine.
Exactly.
That I can physically hold and be like, right, So no, I'm forever grateful for it. And he's amazing to work with.
Yeah. And honestly, I want to even give you your flowers as well, because you're a go-getter. Any opportunity that's presented, even if you don't feel ready for this conversation, you just go for it.
Oh yeah, just take it.
How important is it for like creatives? Because there's a lot of creatives that are in this obsession with receiving energy. But like, you also need to go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You need to just go and you need to like, you know, push forward. How important is it to be a go-getter?
I think it's extremely important. I mean, to be honest with you, it gets hard because there's times where it's like, I'm doing a lot, but I'm not seeing a return. And that can get draining.
Of course.
But at the same time, a lot of people are in the same position. So it's like help you to help me kind of vibe. But at the end of the day, life does not wait for you. Like in this life, you have to learn how to just get up, take it, and then figure it out. It's the fake it till you make it, literally. Figure it out on set. You will never know whether you're good or bad at something unless you try it. Do you know what I mean? It's better if I went on set at that 14 straight 16 and I was like panicking, like not knowing what to do.
And you were so calm that day.
But if I was there panicking and then I went home, at least I know not to panic next time because everything was fine. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's about just taking that risk and allowing it to play out in the way that it needs to play out without trying to control it. I have a very large habit with control. I'll try and control my outcomes, my creativity I control, do you know what I mean? And I had to let go of that narrative because life will always have an outcome, whether you control it or not. Whatever is destined for you is destined for you. Do you know what I mean? Like you get caught up in trying to make something happen and a lot of the times it don't work in your favor or you miss the important information that's within that whole experience because you're so narrow-minded on this one thing. So yeah, take the risk, man, and do it.
Guys, this is philosophy.
Amen.
This is Fashion Philosophy 101. And before we round up, one final question. Now, Fashion Insights, as I said, is all about empowering the next gen. What insight would you give to the next generation of aspiring designers and stylists?
I think you have to love your pain and love your love. I think when you ignore parts of you, you're not being true to yourself. And how do you expect to step into the world and for the world to be true to you? Do you know what I mean? You have to really understand yourself and go out there and let the world take you for who you are. There's no point in hiding it. And do you know what? I think you find out so much about yourself when you sit alone and you think and you self-reflect and you understand yourself. There's no better gift in the world than to be able to see and know who you are. Yeah, and your true self. Yeah, in its rawest form. Forget all the fluff and what everybody else says that you should be like. Like, someone out there will appreciate you for who you are. And a lot of the times I feel like we overthink the very minor things. Like, oh, like I said, walking a space, was I doing too much? You know what I mean? But yeah, you just have to just allow it to be. Man, you guys know what I'm going to say. I love this. This was so empowering. You know, and I feel like there's so many gems that I even took from that as well. I think you've been able to navigate this space with such a strong mindset. It's very necessary because the fashion industry will crush you, bro. Yes, it will. It will crush you. And again, themes of authenticity, resilience, you know, being ready to just go. Fearlessness as well. You know? Yes, all to do with fearlessness. Yeah, you can't be afraid. Incredible stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so honoured for your time. I know, you know, it's a little late. But I was a little late. No, but I'm also conscious of time and I'm so great. I honestly, like, I'm so happy that you've blessed Fashion Insights with your gems. Right. I know people are going to be so inspired. So, you know, for people that are now being introduced to you, where can they find you? So Instagram is Marnei, that's Marne, 3 I's, or my brand is Marnei, which is Marnei.studios. Can I just say as well, this is a full circle moment for me, because when I moved to London, I saw an ad. It was Fashion Insights, the blueprint ad. And that was the very first event that I went to. The very first event. It was a panel talk. And it was the very first event I went to. And now look, that's so crazy work.
Girl.
Right?
God is good. I feel like 2026 is the year of full circles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's the year of just authenticity as well. And like doing everything that was so that's powerful. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for this moment.
Yeah.
And there's so much more that's gonna be. In fact, what else should we expect from you? What's more to come?
Well, this.
Oh yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm creating ideas. It's weird because I chase, but I also don't chase. So I keep my eyes open. And a lot of the times things come to me, but I always plan. I'm always doing something. So when something does come to me, I'm ready. And then it's funny because it all happens at once.
You stay proactive.
Yeah, something's coming to me. I'm sorting that out. Then something else comes. Then I've got the thing that I wanted to start myself going on. But expect more clothes. That's for sure.
More steez,
expect more clothes,
more energy. But guys, thank you so much for looking into another episode of Fashion Insights. I hope you guys loved this episode as much as I did. Honestly, I could speak to Marnei for hours because this was deeper than fashion. It was about mindset. It was about resilience. It was about, how your journeys really inspire your pieces and how fashion could be a source of therapy. And there's going to be a lot more conversations coming, okay? And as you said, as we've said, it's that season to just be your authentic and raw self, okay? Now, as always, like, comment, subscribe. This is cringing me out, guys, okay? I'm a baby YouTuber and saying this is just so corny, but y'all, we gotta grow together. But thank you guys again. As always, this is my closing. Clock it forever, clock it for life. And I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.